New York Rangers will be starting their regular season very, very soon, but in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my lines that I would like to see for this upcoming season for the New York Rangers. We're going to go through, line 1 through 4 for forwards and pairs 1 through 3 for defense, and we're going to kind of talk about my lines here that I would like to see for these players. Now, these are somewhat realistic lines as well. I didn't go crazy there and switching a bunch of things around there. I went somewhat realistic, but also with what I would kind of want to see as well. So these are pretty much my lines that I want to see for this upcoming season. I also included some of the extra forwards and extra defensemen and some of the scratches as well. Some of the extra guys who could be those top call-ups and stuff like that as well in another section. So let's get right into it here. But before we do that, also definitely comment down below your lines that you want to see for this upcoming season. Obviously, at the end of the day, there it's up to Peter Laviolette and his coaching staff and kind of what they want to do there. But it is fun as Rangers fans to kind of talk and take a look at possible lineup combinations that we could see happen at the start of this season on opening night or possibly throughout this upcoming season at some point as well. So let's get right into it here. Starting off with line 1 for the forwards. We have Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere. I think that's my top line there. I know, yes, on paper, sometimes you do see Zibanejad, his line as the kind of number 1 line, but I think if we're talking about the actual best line for the Rangers, overall, I think it is the Panarin, Trocheck, and Lafreniere line. Now, defensively, they're not a great line. They're not completely awful, but they're definitely not great. But offensively, they're one of the top lines in all of hockey. So hopefully we see them have another monster season there with some of these guys possibly having some career highs in, points, goals, assists once again, like they all did. At least have a couple career highs last season. And next up here we have for line 2, Kreider, Zibanejad, and Riley Smith. I think these top 6 forwards, Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere, and then Kreider, Zibanejad, and Riley Smith, I think these lines and these top 6 forwards are pretty much locked in and guaranteed for opening night. Unless any injuries happen there, these are the top 6 forwards more than likely that are going to happen, which I'm fine with there. I think Riley Smith was a nice addition there. He is, I think, a still, top 6 caliber forward, a second line kind of guy, and I think he definitely can be, somewhere around possibly that kind of 50-point mark is definitely a realistic kind of goal for him to be at, I would say. So I think Riley Smith there, solid two-way guy, bit of physicality to his game there, a veteran guy, great in the playoffs, has been a playoff performer, I think should be a very nice add for this Rangers team. It can also help on the PK as well, which is quite nice. And now for the third line, I have Will Cuylle, Filip Chytil, and Brennan Othmann. I think I want to see Othmann for sure in this top 9. I think he fits very well on that third line. His play style is pretty much the exact kind of player you want. You want to have a guy with some energy there, a pretty solid skater, fairly fast out there. He's good offensively, has that great offensive talent, and does have, a great shot there, great one-timer, has that, offense capabilities of being a lethal threat out there, but also defensively has worked on his game, which is quite nice there, so should not be much of a liability out there, but also plays with an edge to his game there. He can piss the other team off a bit as well, get under their skin. He can play physically. He can hit a lot there. He's always looking to hit, which I personally love to see. So this is a guy who I think should and probably, hopefully will make this team for opening night. They're both to wait and see, but I really do think that he deserves a spot here with kind of what he's done. I think he's shown a lot there. He's one of the team's top prospects. It's him or Gabe Perreault, and I'm really excited to see what Othmann can possibly do this upcoming season, possibly alongside guys like Will Cuylle and Filip Chytil. Othmann can also play left and on the right side, so both wings there, which is quite nice. Great versatility. Will Cuylle is also a very physical, tough guy as well, so having those two wingers there who can hit everything that moves out there on the ice, hopefully Will Cuylle can kind of develop more of an offensive game like he did, back in junior, stuff like that, when he was a pretty great player in juniors offensively. Hasn't quite developed to the NHL level, but hopefully he can, kind of take a bigger step in year 2 at the NHL level, which obviously had a decent rookie year, not bad at all, but offensively wasn't too great, you could say, but overall, not too bad. And centering them, Filip Chytil there, obviously a very solid third-line center in my opinion. And now for the fourth line here, I have Adam Edstrom, Sam Carrick, and Matt Rempe. So some of you might be getting a little mad at me or something like that, possibly because I did not include Kaapo Kakko. Now, it's kind of a tough spot right now for the Rangers and Kakko, I think. I mean, Kakko really didn't play great last year, and I think from what he can bring in a bottom 6 role, personally, I think there are some other guys who I'd probably rather see out there who I think, a guy like Othmann definitely has a higher upside for his overall play there, offensively. He's definitely better than Kakko for sure. Obviously, that third line there, I really like a lot there, so I wouldn't really put Kakko on that third line in my opinion. The fourth line there, you could argue that if you want to throw him on the fourth line there, but I think for what we're kind of looking for possibly on that fourth line, Adam Edstrom, Matt Rempe there, big physical wingers. Obviously, Edstrom has a bit more skill and a bit more kind of talent than a guy Rempe there. Rempe's a bit more of the tougher guy, but both those guys on the fourth line there could be great, massive 6'7", 6'8" kind of wingers there, about that size. They're two monster guys up there, centered by a guy like Sam Carrick, who is that two-way, grizzled kind of veteran center there, solid defensive guy, can help put in the PK there, has a bit of experience, plays a very tough game, though. That third line could be a very tough physical line to play against there. Decent defensively, hopefully, if Rempe and Edstrom kind of work on that stuff. But I think a fourth line of that wouldn't be bad at all. If you want to throw Kakko on there, I wouldn't be against that. VC as well. I think those guys are in the mix as well. And if you want to, throw in a guy like Kakko there on that third line over Othman, and you wanted to see Othman as a kind of AHL guy to start the year, I can understand that. But personally, those are the lines that I want to see to start this upcoming season. And the other kind of scratches / extras are Kakko, VC, Brodzinski, Jake Leschyshyn, and Brett Berard. And a few of those guys I just mentioned will definitely be playing in the AHL to start the year. I mean, Brett Berard, I could pretty much guarantee he's going to start the season in the AHL, as well as Jake Leschyshyn and more than likely Johnny Brodzinski. But I think those are three guys there who definitely can be call-ups at some point if needed, if injuries happen. VC, Kakko, if they are also guys not in the opening night lineup, they could also be kind of nice extra guys as well. So I think overall, this team has some solid depth there. Center-wise, we could use another center in there. Brodzinski, Leschyshyn, decent kind of options, but not the best. And if injuries happen, to Chytil, to Benedict, Trocheck, things could definitely look pretty bad. And now let's take a look here at my defense pairs for the 2024-2025 season. First off, I have here for the top pair, Lindgren and Fox. It's going to be the same thing like it's been for a while now. I don't see it changing, but this could be the last season that we do see Lindgren and Fox together, as Lindgren is an unrestricted free agent next offseason, and I'm not quite sure we're honestly going to see him come back. I think there is definitely a very realistic possibility where we just see him walk away in free agency. The Rangers, open a bit more cap space there, let him walk, and possibly look to use one of their prospects to kind of fill some of the holes here that we could have next offseason, or possibly sign a different player. Next up here for the second pair, we have Miller and Schneider. We've seen that a bit in the past, and personally, this is what I want to see. I want to see that third D pair be Zach Jones and Jacob Trouba. Keep those guys down there. Have Trouba on that third defense pair alongside a more offensive young guy in Zach Jones. I think that could be a decent little third D pair there. The more defensive guy in Trouba, who's that physical, tough guy. And you also have that more younger, inexperienced guy, more offensive guy in Zach Jones. That could be a nice kind of third D pair there as well. Undersized guy with a bigger guy could work quite well. And then we have here for the second D pair, like I said, Miller and Schneider. I want to see Schneider get, true top 4 minutes as a defenseman on that second D pair alongside Keandre Miller. I think they kind of complement each other fairly well. Miller's a slightly bit more offensive kind of guy, but still solid defensively. And you can say that kind of the opposite for Schneider, where he's a bit more defensive than offensive, but still not terrible offensively. So I think these guys could fit quite well together. Both pretty tall guys. Obviously, Miller not too physical, but Schneider definitely is. Could be a pretty nice combo together on that second D pair. And for the kind of healthy scratches / extras, I have Chad Ruhwedel, Victor Mancini, Matthew Robertson, and Ben Harper. Harper and Ruhwedel, more veteran kind of guys there, but definitely can be pretty solid depth options. Ruhwedel seems like he's going to be the number 7 guy there, so he'll more than likely just be a kind of a healthy scratch for the most part. Then you have here Victor Mancini and Matthew Robertson. Robertson being that left-handed defenseman there, big 6'4" guy, and you have Victor Mancini, the right-handed 6'4" defenseman. So, 2 6'4" defense prospects, one lefty, one righty, who could end up being some very good AHL players for this Rangers team, which will more than likely happen, or possibly we could see them end up getting a chance at the NHL level at some point, but I really doubt that's going to happen. I think we're probably going to see Victor Mancini and Matthew Robertson for more than likely the entire season in the AHL, unless we do see a few injuries happen. Anyways, I want to thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for more New York Rangers content. I'll be posting a ton more videos about the Rangers. So if you're a Rangers fan, there's no better place to be on YouTube than this channel. So hit that like and subscribe button. Helps with the channel a ton, and I would really, really appreciate it. But also, Don't forget to comment down below your lines. What are your defense pairs there? What are your forward lines? What do you want to see for the Rangers this upcoming season and all? So don't forget, Shesterkin's a starter and Jonathan Quick is the backup. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next one and see ya.